Hey, Dr. J here with another episode of Janine's Justifiables, and I'm going to continue in on my parenting and parenthood series, right? And today I'm going to talk about rescuing your children. All right. Earlier today, I was watching the Tupac trial, right? And something was said that made me start thinking about a class that I took during my PhD program. And in the class, we were talking about, because my degree is in childhood studies, and it's basically the study of children and childhood. And in the class, we were talking about what the theory of children or childhood is, right? Is there a theory behind children or childhood? And there was like two opposing sides. One side said in children and childhood, it's a person who has not reached of age yet, right? According to U.S. law, it's 18. You're a legal adult by then. And so in this childhood, do you allow them to have a childhood and be children until they reach the age of maturity, which is 18? Or are you raising these humans in childhood to be an adult one day, if that makes sense, right? So it's almost like they are the perpetual child until they hit 18, or you are treating them as the adult that they're going to become. All right. And so I started to think about what that means as far as rescuing children, right? Rescuing your child. And I further thought about what that actually meant. And I came up with there's two levels of rescue in my book, right? There is the rescue in their learning, right? And then there is the rescue from their faults. And I'm going to give you an example of both. When you have, right, maybe I did this, when you have a small child and maybe they're learning how to do something, walk or run or something like that, and they fall down and you run to them, you're like, oh my goodness, and you let me kiss your boo-boo and all of this stuff. And then maybe they get a little bit older and maybe middle school, they go to school, they forgot their lunch, and then it's like, oh mom, I'm hungry and can you bring my lunch up here? And then you gotta go and run and take their lunch up there or whatever, or they missed the bus and you gotta go. And then maybe you have an older child that goes away to college, right? And you give them some money every month and say, hey, this gotta last you for the month, because you're trying to teach them some responsibility. This gotta last you for the month. And then a week after that you gave them the money, they call you saying, can you send me gas money? It's like, I gave you money last week. And so it goes back to the theory, are these children until they reach the age of maturity, or are you teaching them to be adults, right? Are you along the way as they're growing, do you teach them to be adults? And so it got me thinking, because I'm always thinking, it got me thinking about a movie I remember seeing some years ago. And a part of the movie was this lady had a son, and her son got into some legal trouble, and he was in jail and everything. He's like, please bail me out, bail me out. And so she put her house up, right, as the bail. And so he skipped town. And of course she lost the house, right? Because she, as a parent, we come to the rescue of our children. But what does that actually mean with coming to their rescue, right? Because like I said, there is a rescue when they're learning, right? You can't fault a child if they make a mistake during their learning. But then there comes a point where there is a fault in their decision making, right? And I'm not saying we're perfect and people are perfect. No, we all make mistakes, right? But when do you decide you're going to come to the rescue of your child? I hear people all the time that say, if my child calls me, I'm showing up. It don't matter what it's for, what happened. I don't care. I'm showing up. And this video is not about choose a side. I'm just giving you something to think about, which is fine. Show up for your kid. Absolutely show up for your kid. But when is there ever, and this is a question, is there ever a point where you allow them to feel the wrath of their decisions, right? Is it in adolescent? Is it in teenage years? Is it in young adult years? Is it adult years, right? Because sometimes you have adult children who are begging you to come to their rescue for whatever reason, right? Based on their decisions. So you have to determine, when do I show up? When do I not show up? Do you allow them to feel the wrath of their decision making, right? Because I'm thinking, if we continue to show up, right, after we have tried to teach this lesson time and time again, do we get to a point where we are now crippling our children because we keep on showing up, right? Do we put them in a bind, right? And it's like how I learned in the class. Do we allow them to be children until a certain age, till they get to that age and now they have to be an adult? Or do you go along and teach them to be adult at the time they turn 18 or that age of maturity? Because what I understand is that there has to be a level of responsibility and accountability that we put into our children, but it's just a matter of when we're going to put it in them. A lot of times people will say, no, I got it. But how good is that for our children? Because mind you, because I keep saying this, children and parenting is just not about children getting you being a parent to that child. It's really about you as well. And we gotta start thinking, if we continue to keep coming to our children's aid, what will happen when we're not able to come to their aid no more, right? Because one day we're not going to be here. And have we put it in them so that they are able to care for themselves after we're gone? Or have we crippled them to the point that they're not able to care for themselves after we're gone? And so that was just something I wanted to talk about, rescuing your children, because we do it. I've been rescued in my life by my parents, thank the Lord. But there is a time where, and I'm gonna go scripture on y'all. It says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, but when I became an adult, I put away childish things. We have to get to a point where, and I'm going to give y'all scripture and hip hop history. One of my favorite artists, he said, some don't believe it till they feel it, aka Mos Def. Some don't believe it until they feel it, because as long as we keep on coming to their rescue, they will not feel it. They will not feel what responsibility is, what accountability is. They won't. And sometimes we have to come to the rescue of our children because the other parent failed to. I'm going to keep on harping about that. Y'all know I'm a single parent. So, and I've been a solo parent. And so I still, have those situations where we're both responsible. And so I just want to talk to you about coming to the rescue of your children and what that looks like for you and what it will eventually look like for them. All right, just something to think about. I'll talk to you all on the next go round.